05. The Clan. Today was a day off from monster hunting, so the morning was relaxed. Karina was coming to pick us up at an odd time, which meant we couldn't really go anywhere. After breakfast, it seemed everyone else was heading to the inn's courtyard for some sword practice. I, however, had something I needed to check with Iris, so I holed up in my room. Iris, do you know the current location of the Royal Guard? I do not. However, I can estimate the route they are likely to take. Shall I dispatch nearby drones? How long will it take to find them? I believe they can be located within 30 minutes. All right, send them out. Target located. That was fast. It had only been about 10 minutes since she started searching. An image from a drone appeared on the virtual window, zooming in on a man on horseback. It was definitely Captain Darsom. Zooming out, I could see they were moving in a group of about 20 people with horses and wagons. The wagons had no covers, so I could clearly see the number of people. About 200 meters behind them was another, similar group. It looked like they were traveling separately. A single procession of over 50 people would probably look strange, so that must be why. Aren't there too many groups? If there were 58 people, 3 groups should have been enough, but I could see more than 3. Can you confirm the total number of people? The drone's camera moved along the road. Isn't it flying a little too low? Even though it was cloaked in stealth mode, they seemed to hear the engine noise. Everyone was frantically looking around at the sky. Confirmed. There are 100 people in total. Is it a mix of unrelated groups? I do not believe so. I have confirmed the presence of Royal Guard members we identified in Gotanya in every group. Instantly, the headshots from Gotanya were displayed alongside more than 10 new ones, likely clipped from the current drone footage. They were indeed the same people. I recognized their faces. What was going on? Were they on some kind of escort mission? Is anyone not wearing armor? Negative. Images of all 100 individuals filled the window. Whoa, there were a few women too. Could they be Erna's colleagues? If there were unarmed people mixed in, I might have thought it was an escort mission. But since there wasn't a single one, I had to assume they were all involved. The round number of exactly 100 also felt intentional, and the people in the zoomed-in images looked like soldiers. This was unexpected. I only wanted to confirm if all 58 members of the Royal Guard were heading to Gaunt's as we prepared the base, but I never imagined their numbers would have increased rather than decreased. They probably thought 58 wasn't enough, or maybe others wanted to come along. It seems natural to assume the additional people are from the Margrave's army that Roberto mentioned. I hope the base has the capacity for over 100 people. Well, what's done is done. No point in worrying about it now. What is their estimated date of arrival in Gaunt's? In 23 days. That's earlier than planned. Knowing Captain Darsom, he's probably pushing them hard. Check on this group once a day. Let me know if any issues arise. Understood. Also, Iris, you may already know this, but we've decided to start making high-proof alcohol. Selena sometimes allows Iris to monitor things, so she must know. Yes, I am aware. Design a still for alcohol that can be manufactured with the skills and materials available to blacksmiths on this planet. Would something like this suffice? However, as I have never seen the equipment of a blacksmith, I cannot determine if it is manufacturable. An image of a blueprint for a still appeared on the virtual window. So that's what it looks like. It had the distorted shape of a copper kettle. When you heat an alcoholic beverage like wine, the alcohol evaporates first. By guiding that vapor to another location and cooling it back into a liquid, you can produce a more concentrated alcohol. A still is a device that does this efficiently. You've got a point. I'll check out a blacksmith shop soon. Let's tentatively go with this design. It's a bit small though. A little bigger. That should do. How many pages would it take to write down the instructions for making a still of that size? 153 pages. Additionally, the operating manual will be 57 pages. How depressing. I have to copy over 200 pages? No, it would be even more if I included the instructions for making the alcohol itself. Maybe 1.5 million guinea was a bargain. All right, next, get the data on the wine I drank yesterday from Nanom. Data acquired. What's the alcohol content? Approximately 21%. Okay, I want to make a better tasting liquor with a higher alcohol content, say around 25%. I imagine it will be a fortified wine, made by mixing distilled alcohol with existing wine. I want you to research the production process for it.
Captain, I cannot discern whether a liquor tastes good or bad. I have data on existing alcohol production facilities and processes from the human worlds, but I have no expertise in brewing with the materials on this planet using this particular still. I know that. For a while, I'll make a point of drinking various kinds of alcohol. I want you to research it based on data from those liquors and the ingredients we've already discovered. You have data on highly rated liquors from the human worlds, right? Try to create something similar to those. Even if I collect the data, the evaluation program for the research is incomplete. I do not believe it will be successful. There are spare system resources, aren't there? Build a simulation module and do some research. A simulation module is a system that can create a limited virtual world within the cyberscape, perfectly simulating real-world conditions to conduct various experiments and verifications. Since it's virtual, time can be fast-forwarded or rewound at will. It uses a considerable amount of CPU power, so it's not used unless absolutely necessary. Are you suggesting I construct a simulation module for this? What do you mean, this? This is part of a strategic operation to secure future operating funds. It also contributes to the advancement of science and technology, albeit in a small way, which aligns with the mission's purpose. Understood. I will attempt it. Having somehow managed to talk Iris into it, I was in the middle of giving her all sorts of details about the kinds of liquor I find tasty when it was time for Karina to arrive. When she showed up, she was accompanied by a man who looked every bit the craftsman. Aaron, this is Master Torko. He'll be joining us for the preliminary inspection today. A pleasure to meet you. I'm Aaron. Torko, likewise. First things first, I needed to deliver the hair dryers. Karina, let me deliver the magic tools first. This is the magic tool called a hairdryer. I took them out of the wooden box and tested them. Of course, both worked without issue. The magic stones, by the way, were on the house. Very well, here is the payment. She handed me a small leather pouch. Inside were 4 gold coins. Thank you, received. Once the delivery was complete, we all headed to the new base right away. The carriage was large, with plenty of room even for all of us. After about 5 minutes, it stopped in front of a large 4-story brick building. There was a large plaza in front of the building, and off to the side was something that looked like a stable, big enough for a good number of horses. About 10 people who looked like craftsmen were gathered around the building, discussing something. They were probably here to inspect the renovations. Silas certainly works fast. This is the property, Karina said. It's much bigger than I expected. Indeed. A building of this size is quite rare, even in Gaunt's. Shall we go inside? The 7 of us filed into the building. Karina led us into a room near the entrance. This is a standard room in this building. The room was about 4 meters square. There was a bunk bed on the left and another on the right, with a table and 4 chairs in the center. Well now, it may be used, but at least it comes with furniture. I thought the rooms would be empty. Master Torko began inspecting the beds and tables. If they're all like this, a few repairs and a new coat of paint should be enough, I think. The mattress stuffing will need to be completely replaced, though. I agree. Let's use what we can. We did a quick tour of the other rooms. They were all more or less the same. Torko was jotting something down on a notepad, probably counting the number of items. This room was used as the dining hall. It was a large room with 4 long tables arranged in rows. Each row looked like it could seat 30 people. The tables and chairs in here are still usable, Torko noted. Well, they were probably in use until 2 months ago, so it's unlikely much of it would be unusable. We looked around the kitchen and storage rooms. Everything seemed to be in order. And this is the bathroom. Oh, I'd forgotten something important. The bathroom is crucial. The bathtub looked big enough for more than 10 people at once, and it also seemed fine. Is this a bath that heats water with magic stones? This was important. That's right. The guild will handle the renovations for this bath. That's good to hear. I have more magic stones than I know what to do with. Is there a women's bath? Asked Sharon. There isn't one currently. If it's necessary, the guild can arrange for one. Everyone turned to look at me at once. The pressure was intense. Yes, please, we'd appreciate that. Understood. In that case, we'll renovate one of the empty rooms. Thank you. We looked around the second and third floors, but the layout was the same. We then proceeded to the top floor, the fourth. This corner of this floor was used as rooms for the officers. The rooms were the same size, but there was only one bunk bed. Even the officers had to share a room for two?
This was the clan leader's office. It was the size of 2 regular rooms combined, furnished with a desk, a chair, a long sofa, and a large table. It was probably used for meetings. That's a full tour of the rooms. The guild will inspect and renovate the facilities in every room. That's a big help. By the way, there were 28 4-person rooms. That means the dorm rooms alone have a capacity of 112. So, how many rooms of furniture do you want me to work on? Asked Torko. All of them, please. Aaron, isn't that too much? With 63 people, we won't even use half the rooms, said Erna. It seems Erna had been keeping a proper count. We might grow in the future, right? We might as well get it all done now while we have the chance. No one seemed to disagree with my reasoning, and they all nodded in acceptance. I already knew that 70 to 80% of the rooms would be filled. Oh, right. Karina, I have a general question. For example, if about 100 adventurers were living here, how many staff would be needed for things like cooking, cleaning, laundry, and caring for the horses? You would need at least 10 people. If you require such personnel, the Commerce Guild can arrange it. Ah, that would be a great help. In that case, I'd like to request 13 people, just to be safe. Karina looked puzzled by the number. Very well, I will assemble a suitable team. When would you like their employment to begin? Asked Karina. When will the renovations be finished? I can't say for certain yet, but we're aiming for 20 days from now, Karina replied. Let's have them start in 20 days then. Understood. For your reference, you can expect the daily wage to be about 100 guinea per person on average. Got it. Thank you for your help. Next was the furniture. A rough estimate, but repairing the furniture in all the rooms will be 70 to 80,000 guinea. It shouldn't cost more than 100,000, said Torko. Understood. Please proceed. Let's set the deadline for 20 days from now. It won't take that long, but understood. We'll start work tomorrow. Torko gave me the location of his workshop in case I needed to contact him. With that, our meeting was concluded. Everyone wanted to look around a bit more, so we decided to stay while Karina and the master craftsman departed. This is amazing, Aaron. This is going to be our base, said Clelia. I didn't expect it to be this large. Lady Leah, I believe a clan's base is called a home. Yes, this is our home. Huh, so they call it a home. The Shining Star's home, eh? Wait, what happens to the clan name? Do we pick a new one? No, it's usually the same as the core party's name, so Shining Star's home should be fine. Is that so? Then we'd be Shining Star of Shining, right? Seems like it could get confusing. But that's the custom. There's not much we can do about it. I guess you're right. If that's how everyone does it, it probably isn't that inconvenient. In the end, we all toured the entire building again, from the first floor to the fourth. By the way, are we considered the officers? Asked Sharon. Of course, that should be the case, said Erna. So, we'll be living in the 2-person rooms on the 4th floor. There will probably be extra rooms, so you could each have your own if you want, I suggested. We don't mind sharing a room for 2, Sharon said, and Selena nodded in agreement. That's right, we're fine sharing as well, said Clelia. I'd prefer my own room though, I said. Aaron, you're the leader, so it would be better for you to have a single room, Erna said. Everyone was choosing their rooms as they pleased. If there's any furniture or equipment you need, let me know. We should order it now. I'd like something to store my clothes in, said Sharon. Me too. All right, Sharon, write down what you want on a piece of paper. I'll give it to Torko tomorrow and have him make them. Understood. I also have a list of things I want for the kitchen. We'll need several fire magic tools to cook for over 100 people. A large refrigeration magic tool is also necessary, preferably one with a freezing function. I wonder if they can make that. Oh, and a mixer would be good too. Come to think of it, don't we need a massive number of lighting magic tools?
I'll have to make those myself. After looking everything over one more time, everyone seemed satisfied. I had to register at the Commerce Guild, and I was planning on going alone, but thankfully everyone offered to come with me. We decided to grab lunch somewhere on the way to the guild. There was a diner right outside our base, our home, so we decided to give it a try. Welcome, a party of 5? There were no other customers in the diner. I confirmed and we sat at a random table. There was no menu, just a sign that said 10 guinea, apparently for a set meal of the day. After a short wait, our food was served. It was a stir-fry of big boar and several kinds of vegetables. It came with soup and a large piece of bread. I ordered a glass of wine on the side.
"This is delicious," said Sharon. "Yeah, it's good," I agreed. The flavor was simple, with a light touch of garlic, salt, and pepper. The vegetables were cooked perfectly, retaining a nice crunch, and the large chunks of big boar meat were great. Hearing our comments, a middle-aged man who seemed to be the owner came out from the kitchen. "How's the food?" the owner asked. He definitely heard our conversation, but he asked anyway, a little annoying. "It's delicious, right? That's what I'm saying. It's not bad, but I just can't get any customers. I wonder why. We're a bit far from the bustling part of town. You heard the Great Storm Clan disbanded, right? Ever since then, business has been dead. A good chunk of my customers were from the Great Storm. Is he a talkative one? I just want to eat in peace. The clan. Sigh, what do you think? Should I just close up shop? Do whatever you want. Fine, I guess I'll give him a piece of good information. A new clan is moving into the building across the street soon." "What? Is that true? Do you know which clan?" "Yeah, they're called Shining Star." "Shining Star? Never heard of them. Do you know them?" the owner asked. "Yeah, that's us." "Whoa, really? Then that's solid information. I see. When are you moving in? How many people?" "Sometime after 20 days from now. As for the number, over 60 people. 60 people? That's a huge number. I see, that many, huh? You're all members, right? Once you move in, I might to greet your leader. You think you could set that up for me? I'll make it worth your while, of course. I know, this meal is on the house. How about it?" "Well, if it's free, I can't complain." "Sure, I'm the clan's leader." "What? You are? You are, sir?" "Yes, my name is Aaron. It's a pleasure to meet you." "Does this mean the meal is free now?" "However, we plan to serve 3 meals a day at the clan, so you might not get many customers," I added. "What? You can't be serious. Are you really serving 3 meals at the clan?" asked Erna. "That was the plan. That's unusual, at least in the city. Most organizations only provide breakfast and dinner." Exactly, the owner chimed in. "Is that so? Come to think of it, inns are like that too." "Exactly. Perhaps 2 meals would be fine. It's quite enjoyable to eat out sometimes." "Exactly. With so many people, it might be tough on the cooks to make 3 meals." "Exactly. All right, let's make it 2 meals a day." "Thank you so much." He said our lunch would be free of charge, of course, so we didn't hesitate to accept. The Adventurers Guild was on the way to the Commerce Guild, so we decided to stop by. There was a chance Silas had already posted the request. I immediately went to one of the reception desks, the one with the sign that read Nominated Quests, to check. "I'd like to see if there's a nominated quest for us. Party name, please." "Shining Star." Yes. There's a nominated quest from the Commerce Guild. Here are the details." She handed me the request form. "Am I allowed to take this with me?" "Of course. If you decide to accept the quest, please inform us and submit it again." We moved to a spot where we wouldn't be in anyone's way and huddled around the request form. The request was for the capture or subjugation of bandits. The reward was 1,000 guinea per bandit, captured or killed. The amount was the same for either outcome. The deadline was listed as not set. Come to think of it, I don't think Silas and I discussed the reward. 1,000 guinea. That's a bit of an ambiguous price.
It makes sense for the Commerce Guild to pay the same for capture or kill, since all they care about is getting rid of the bandits, but 1,000 guinea feels a little low. Doesn't this feel a bit underwhelming? I agree. I thought it would be a little higher. Let's say we catch 10 of them. The bounty from the territory is 5,000 guinea per person, so that's 50,000, plus 10,000 from the Commerce Guild, a total of 60,000. If we can wrap it up quickly, it's worth it. If it drags on, monster hunting is way more profitable. But with bandits, we can expect other loot, can't we? That's true. We can't ignore the bandits' possessions. I see, so the price was set with that in mind. As expected of the Commerce Guild's guildmaster. Since he went to the trouble of issuing the request, we should accept it, shouldn't we? Celia said. You're right. For now, let's think of it as building our reputation to raise our rank, rather than just for the income. What does everyone think? Everyone nodded in agreement, so I headed back to the reception desk. We've decided to accept this nominated quest. The receptionist jotted down the request number in a ledger and handed the form back to me. Very well. When the quest is complete, please get the client's signature on this and submit it again. Understood.
As we took the request form and were about to leave the guild, a voice called out from behind us. Hey, are you Shining Star? I turned around to see an older adventurer I'd never seen before. He had the air of a veteran and looked tough. Yeah, that's us. Can we help you with something? Sorry, but I need to talk to you for a bit. Mind joining me at the tavern next door? A talk? What about? It's about the party Green Wind. Green Wind? I've heard that name somewhere. Ah, right. They were the party escorting Arista. Is this guy connected to them? Just me? No, I'd prefer if all of you came. I looked at the others and no one seemed to have an issue with it. All right. We followed the man into the tavern next to the guild and sat at a table in the back. When the waiter came to take our order, the man ordered ales for everyone. It seemed to be his treat. The others looked a bit disappointed, as they would have preferred something other than ale. Sorry for taking your time. I'm Carl, the leader of the Tempest clan. If he introduced himself, it was only polite to do the same. I'm Aaron, the leader of Shining Star. These are my party members, Leah, Erna, Selena, and Sharon. I introduced them in the order they were sitting. They all seemed a little wary of the gruff-looking man. I see. Well then, Aaron, let me confirm. You're the ones who buried Green Wind, is that correct? That's right, we buried them. I see. Green Wind was part of my clan. First of all, thank you. Thank you for giving them a proper burial. It was just the right thing to do. But how do you know about that? In cases like this, a clan leader has the right to ask for information about their party's final moments. I got the information from the client through the guild. I see, so that's how it is. You, Aaron, and your friends saved the client from the bandits in place of Green Wind, recovered their guild tags and belongings, and buried them, right? Yeah, that's right. That's not something just anyone would do. In fact, I've never heard a story like it. I saw their belongings too. You recovered them without even touching the money. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it. I thought they might have families. They did. They were from this town. Some of them were married, and all of them had families. I made sure to deliver their belongings to their relatives myself. They were all incredibly grateful. I see. That's good to hear. It was worth recovering them. I'd known the guys from Green Wind since they were kids. They joined my clan as soon as they came of age. They slowly raised their rank and finally made it to C rank. They were just getting started. I see. That's unfortunate. Yeah, really. Just damn unlucky. Damn it. Sorry about that. Anyway, the information from the client was basically just what I confirmed with you. I couldn't get any real details. So, you want to know the specifics? Yeah, especially about how those bandits died. The client just told me they were all dead. You all seem like decent people, so you probably killed them quickly. But I wish I could have killed them with my own 2 hands, made it as gruesome as possible.
Since yesterday, all I've been able to think about is how I would have killed them. I've been so frustrated I can't even sleep. Ah, Carl, you've got it wrong. The end for those bandits was horrific. It was probably the most miserable I've ever seen or heard of. What? Really? Aaron, please tell me. I decided to tell him the story from the beginning. First, that when we arrived at the scene, all the members of Green Wind were already dead, but they had fought bravely and taken down 3 bandits. That we captured the 5 bandits at the scene alive. That 3 women had been captured and taken to the bandits' hideout. That we made a bandit guide us to the hideout to rescue them. And that we managed to save the 3 women who were being assaulted and captured another 7 bandits. So, when we were discussing what to do with the bandits, the women offered to buy them from me. Ah, I see. So that's what happened. Carl's chest swelled with anticipation, imagining how the bandits were killed. That's right. I went into the cave with them, got enough ropes for everyone, and told the bandits, "All right, you scum, tie your own feet with those ropes. The one who ties them the tightest, the hardest, I'll consider to be truly repentant, and I'll ask the ladies here for mercy on your behalf." Aaron, you're a cruel one yourself. Then what? What happened then? They scrambled to tie their own feet. They were so desperate. After that, they kept shoving their feet in my face, showing me how tightly they tied the knots. Look how tight I tied mine. Oh, I bet. They would, wouldn't they? Then the women told me to go outside the cave. Apparently, they couldn't concentrate with me there.
But still, it was 12 bandits, even if their feet were tied. I hesitated to leave, but surprisingly, the women were skilled with swords. They had some very sharp-looking ones, too. So I decided to do as they said. As I was about to leave, the bandits were all shouting things like, "What about the mercy? Please help us." And then, before I even left the cave, I started to hear their screams. For about an hour after that, the bandits' screams echoed continuously, reaching all the way outside the cave, non-stop. An hour. In reality, it was probably about 20 minutes, but if this lie helped Carl sleep at night, I felt it was forgivable. When the women came out of the cave, they were smiling with true satisfaction. They had been through something so terrible, and now they were satisfied. What on earth could they have done? I was so freaked out by the thought that I couldn't bring myself to go into the cave. So, in the truest sense, I didn't see the bandits' final moments. I see. Man, I don't know if I could have gone in either. But that's incredible. That's a far more miserable way to die than any of the methods I came up with all night. Yeah, it doesn't get much worse than that. After that, we returned to the road, collected their belongings, and buried the bodies. Oh, but the 3 dead bandits, we just kicked their corpses off the road. That's the whole story. I see. You say you buried them so casually, but you buried 10 people. That must have been tough work. Aaron and you, Leah, Erna, Selena, Sharon, let me thank you one more time. Thank you, truly. I used earth magic, so it wasn't that hard, but I probably shouldn't mention that. Hey, we just did what anyone would do. Oh, Carl, about this story, I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell it to anyone else. Ah, say no more. I get it. To protect the lady's honor, right? Of course. They avenged the members of Green Wind, and in the best way possible. They're my benefactors, too. I swear I won't breathe a word of this, even if my mouth is torn open. Thanks, Carl. I appreciate it. Fortunately, the tavern was empty, and no one was nearby, so no one else heard our conversation. That was careless of me. If this story got out, it could have started nasty rumors about Arista and the others. Still, you guys are something else, taking on a larger group of bandits and coming out unscathed. Well, yeah, between us, we can all use magic, so it wasn't too difficult. What? All of you? What's your rank, by the way? We're all B rank. Wow, you're amazing for being so young. I see. If you're B rank, it was probably a piece of cake. What's your rank, Carl? I'm A rank. It's to be expected for a clan leader, right? I figured as much. What's wrong? Oh, I'm actually planning on starting a clan soon, and I was wondering if it would look bad for the leader to be B rank. What? You're starting a clan at your age? That's impressive. That's a really big deal. About the leader's rank, for smaller clans, it's pretty common for the leader to be B rank. Of course, when you get to the major clans, they're all A rank. Is that so? So does that mean your clan is a major one? Hey now, you don't know Tempest? Oh right, you're new here. Well, around Aunts, the only ones who don't know Tempest are newcomers. It's safe to call us a major clan. Anyway, if there's anything you don't understand about clans, I can teach you. Feel free to ask me anytime. Wow, that would be a huge help. I'll take you up on that. Where do you live, Carl? I always stay at an inn called Sun Dappled Wood. If you need anything, feel free to drop by. We're at the Spring Breeze. Same goes for you. If you need anything, come find us. The Spring Breeze? Damn, you're pretty loaded. Well, yeah, I just really wanted a bath. We're planning to move soon, but when we do, I'll contact you or leave a message. All right, got it. Sorry for taking up your time. It was good talking to you. Thanks to you, I think I'll be able to sleep well tonight. That's good to hear. Oh, and thanks for the ale. Next one's on me. We left the tavern together, and Carl and I parted ways there. The rest of us continued on our way to the Commerce Guild.